it's inspired by like Fourth Wing, and I recently read my friend's like preview to our D&D campaign because he previewed our D&D campaign with like a 35-page novella that he wrote, and that inspired it. Hey guys, it's Mia here, and welcome to a new drawing video. Now, as always, I draw these without my face in them, and then I speed them up in the editor, and I talk you through my process after all of that. So let's get into this. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off because my vision for this is a dragon in front of fiery, mountainy night sky, and I have never drawn a dragon before, so I'm like, oh, this is daunting. I'm not good with faces, I'm not good with animals, but I want to try a dragon so bad because it's something different and something like out of my comfort zone, because I'm more like a landscape painter. I don't want to say landscape drawer because I don't draw very much. I'm more of a landscape painter and landscape digital artist. I'm not good with faces. Faces, hands, I can't do them. I'm just not good at it. So I'm trying to make the fiery background and trying to adjust it how I want to. And it just kind of make it look smoky and fiery and orangey as I go. And I'm trying to put in all the detail I want in the background before I get started on like the main focus, which is going to be the dragon. I haven't decided the dragon's pose yet. Oh, you can see the colors kind of flashing on my skin because I'm pale as can be. It's like rainy out right now, so it's like the perfect time to just chill and do some drawing and do some reading and do some like yippity yap for a YouTube video. So that's what I decided to do today. But I'm really happy so far with how the background is coming out, honestly, because this is the day after I've drawn the background. Like, there are a few things that I want to go back and tweak, which I'll tell you more about later. But this drawing, you're gonna see that I just briefly stop, and then one of the mountains gets filled in. And that's because I was in the middle of drawing it, and my friend was like, hey, wanna hang out in game and then watch a show like we were planning? And so I was like, absolutely. Because even though we planned it, he got on earlier than I was expecting him to. So, and then when I came back the next day and started working on the background, I realized that, hey, dummy, you forgot to hit record. So part of the process of drawing it got cut out because I forgot to hit the record button. So when that does come up and you see a mountain just pop into color, that's because at first I forgot to hit the record button on my process. I laughed at myself. I'm like, well, at least I didn't get like 2 hours into the drawing before I realized I wasn't recording, or that would have been a lot of progress lost because the program that I do use doesn't record itself like some digital drawing does, because I use Emerge, and Emerge doesn't automatically record your process. I have to record all of this myself, so it's not like I could have gone back and got that footage back. So I'm glad it didn't take me 2 hours until the end of the drawing to realize I didn't hit the record button, because that would have been bad. That would have been really bad. But I am both scared and excited to try and do a dragon, because a dragon seems very daunting. But I love dragons. I've always loved dragons, and my art so far has not really reflected my love of dragons. So I wanted to do at least one thing that was reflective of my love of dragons. And now you see me kind of working on the mountains like I was talking about. So when it jumps from one mountain being completely outlined to a drawing being completely finished, That's why I got interrupted, stopped, and then forgot to hit the record button the next day. These last few times of working on videos have been pretty chill, to be completely honest. Like, I'm trying, like I've talked about before, to get into a space where doing YouTube doesn't feel like something I have to do, but rather something I want to do. And I feel like letting myself do like a more chill editing style and not trying to be like these overly hyper, too much caffeinated YouTubers that sit there and scream, "What's up, guys?" at the camera all the time. Like, that's not me. That's not me. I'm a calm person. I'm a chill person. And I cannot stand watching hyper edited, overblown videos because it's overwhelming to me. So I don't want to edit like that either. So letting myself realize that I don't like hyperactive editing and just letting the videos be chill and reflect me more has been nice, because my YouTube channel is about sharing my hobbies and what I love to do. So being inauthentic with the way I edit things wasn't reflecting me, and it was starting to make YouTube feel very I have to instead of I want to. And that's nobody else's fault. That was just my fault. I was the one doing it to myself because I thought, oh, people like the hyperactive, overly preppy, like cut here, cut there, flash to a meme here, add this stupid sound effect or that stupid sound effect. But people like that, so I have to do that. And I'm like, no. See, right there is where I had to cut for the day, and that one just magically poofed into color. But and then this is day 2 where I'm coming back to work on it again. And again, that editing style is not me. It's not me. It's not who I am. It's not what I want to do. And eventually I'll find my right audience. Like my brother was saying, I need some chappy stick. Yeah. But right now, this is kind of just the background. I'm trying to work on the drawing in stages to give myself time to get happy with one aspect of the drawing before I move on to the next aspect of drawing, which is another thing I like about digital art. Digital art, you work in layers. So if you're not happy with the background, you can keep working on it and working on it and working on it. And even if you do the next step of the drawing, you could just turn off that layer and continue to add into the background after realizing that you did something that you didn't like and want to go back and fix it. Whereas in painting, you'd have to paint over the whole thing and then try to fix it. So I just think digital art is so much easier to work with. Now, does that mean I want to always do digital art? No, because digital art also has its limitations. So I don't want to solely rely on doing digital art for my creativity because it has its limits too. But in terms of like being able to work in layers or easily remove a mistake or easily go back and fix things without affecting parts you do like, it's just nice to work with. And like that, I was happy with the mountains, but I wanted to bring in some more depth, so I turned the mountains transparent, saved them as a PNG, and I'm bringing them back in, so you get more depth with the mountains because they're literally on top of each other. Like, that's something that is very easy to do with digital art. I don't know what happened here. For some reason, my pen was not doing what I wanted it to do. Like, I was trying to erase some of the mountains that I didn't want, and like that random line I left in the mountains, and nothing was happening. And it took a few, like, closing out the app and re-entering the app to get it to fix. I don't know if it was a glitch or what, but I finally figured out what was happening and started working on fixing it. And see, just with that alone, it gives the mountains more depth, because you can see that they're actually in front of and behind one another. So that's another thing that I love messing with digital art, is just the flexibility of it and being able to save pieces of your drawing to layer them on top of each other. So it actually gives depth. And then playing with, since each piece of mountain is a separate layer, you can also play with the different shadows on them to give them even more depth. So not only are they actually on top of each other, but you can play with the style of it to give even more shadows and even more depth. Like the ones in the background I made transparent so you could see the smokiness through it, and that helps push them farther into the background, which is what I wanted. And then I'm playing with this. But digital art is so much fun, and I know I've been saying that a lot through this, but it's been a cozy few days working on YouTube videos, and I am genuinely starting to get back to a place where YouTube is fun, because I'm telling myself I don't need to rush things, I don't need to be perfect, I don't need to edit in ways that aren't me, and I'm just getting back into the swing of things and trying not to care as much what people think. Because it's not about what people think, in a way, it's about sharing the things I love and hopefully making people happier while sharing those things. Does that make sense? But it's so much fun. I love drawing. I'm loving working on YouTube again. I really am. Taking a step back and not taking life too seriously really does help you feel better about things in your life. Because we're not meant to take things seriously all the time. We're meant to enjoy life. We're meant to spend time with people. But I'm so nervous about this dragon. I want to work on it, but part of me is like, I've never done a dragon before. Like, I have reference photos that might help, and I say might because what I see in my head, a lot of times I have trouble transferring to canvas. Like, I know what I want the drawing to look like and be like. I'm just sitting here like, is it gonna turn out like a 2-year-old made it, or am I actually gonna pull up what I'm seeing in my mind? And that's where I'm like, I'm a little bit nervous to try this, but it's either I try it and I fail, or I never do it and I don't know if I would have succeeded or failed. So here we are. And I drew this on Halloween, so all like the fall colors and the spooky atmosphere helped like give this drawing inspiration as well, because I love fall. Fall is such a beautiful time of year with the leaves changing and like it's nice and warm, but it's not hot and overly humid. It's just a nice time of year. And so that kind of inspired the color choices of this as well. And then it's inspired by like Fourth Wing, and I recently read my friend's like preview to our D&D campaign, because he previewed our D&D campaign with like a 35-page novella that he wrote, and that inspired it. I am so excited for this campaign, and the book was so good. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded if his book was like a full book, because I was like really intrigued by the story, and then it was over in like 10 minutes. So I'm like, would you ever consider turning this into a full book or writing a full book? Because I liked his writing style and the way that he wrote the book, and the little cameos he threw in for his previous D&D character was funny. So I'm excited to see how it goes, and he confirmed with me that I'm allowed to have a little mini lapdog dragon, so I'm excited. Oh, like I don't think he realizes how excited I am for this D&D campaign, because the preview of the book has me intrigued. He confirmed that I'm allowed to have a dragon off the rip. So that's yay. And then I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. That's just the long and the short of it. I am excited for this D&D campaign. So that was part of the inspiration. So, and we get the final drawing. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that I didn't ramble too much. But I try to make these videos entertaining without being overly, like, quiet, you know? But I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my process and seeing the start of this drawing come into fruition. There are some stuff looking at it now that I want to go back and fix. Like, I want to resize the moon, add a couple more stars in this corner, and then I can start trying to work on the dragon. I'm not too worried about this space yet, because that is going to get covered up by the dragon and the foreground stuff, so we'll see how it goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time.